In 1965, the bobby on the beat became an endangered species, with what was touted as a revolutionary new innovation to catch the local lowlife, the panda car. The finest the British motor industry had to offer left a lot to be desired.
There were just an ordinary family Vauxhall Viva saloon that was painted up and had police on the side. There was no difference to driving your own car. You know, they probably spent more time in the garage than they did out on the beat, but it was good.
It wasn't just Vauxhall Vivas. Hillman Imps, Morris Travellers, Ford Anglias and Minis were all conscripted into service.
You felt extra special. You feel like General Patton on top of a tank. You know, this is the business. I'm a real policeman now. Now, they've given me a car.
Some inspectors did insist on modifications. It wasn't the car's performance they had in mind.
I remember there was an old traffic inspector who apparently when they got a new traffic car, he used to insist that the heaters were taken out because he didn't want to mollycoddle the drivers. Didn't matter about the windscreen being frozen up, he just didn't want them to get their feet warm. And they actually literally removed the heaters from the cars.
Police chiefs had high hopes for their new mobilised units. This regional news story shows the local police could hardly contain their excitement.
The criminals must obviously see the panda cars, and I think the average small-time criminal would tend to move out of the area rather than risk getting caught.
The panda car became a good tool because it could get us to places far quicker than on foot or on my bicycle.
From the west, blocking the exit at Key Street. Panda 5 will take...
It was one thing getting to incidents quickly. Getting there safely was a different matter.
Not very good drivers try to drive quickly in not particularly fast vehicles, and that did cause problems with crashes.
Luckily, there was only one accident I had. You don't want to have accident because it's always a bit of a problem. You know, the sergeant would be called out from the garage and there'd be investigation. If you could avoid all that hassle, it's far better.
Although bobbies were still taming their pandas in the late 60s, specialist police traffic units had been operational in London since 1930. There's nothing new about car crime. As soon as people were driving them, villains were nicking them.
Hello, police headquarters. I've just had my car stolen.
TT calling all motor patrol. A motor car has been stolen from 3 Beat. It is a blue Austin saloon.
There's a stolen motor car. Head for Grandstand Road.
"35 years on, the police had adopted the car of choice for any self-respecting getaway driver. The Jaguar Mark II, being put through its paces here in this promotional film from the Met.
One of the things I always appreciated in those days was the tremendous expertise of those police drivers in getting round corners, in negotiating bends, and traffic, of course, which was quite something. And it was really exciting, I remember it vividly. Lovely experience. We had some really supercars. There was Daimler Dart, which was a V8, very powerful fiberglass body.
No seat belts in those days.
The Humber Super Snipe estate car, which was a big car, and that was used by the traffic department again, and that had a lot of equipment in it. They'd had the Jaguar, the Wolsey, supercars to look at, black of course, any colour so long as it was black. And to be able to drive a car legally at excess speed was also quite exciting in itself, and you used to enjoy that.
Most police officers, if they're honest, will tell you that they like to drive fast. There is no bigger thrill, no bigger buzz. The fastest that I drove was about 145 miles an hour. The noise, the adrenaline rush. Anyone tells you that it's not exciting is lying to you, because it is exciting.
Control said, "You've taken 6 minutes for that run, that was pretty good going." And I thought, well, yes, it was, because I was clocking up about 130 at one stage. And the bomb squad were right behind me.
Men or women like to drive fast. It's in our nature.
Originally, of course, you had a button in the middle of the dash. That was for the bell. Bring, 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 like a quite a resonant doorbell. Great times. It's still a prestigious situation to be able to drive a police car on the bells, as it was. Two-tone horns came on later.
In 1960, Leicestershire police were demonstrating the very latest technology to an apparently startled local news reporter.
Well, that's a pretty frightening noise, Superintendent. What's the motorist going to think about this?
Well, I suppose I'll be a little bit shaken with it for a start, but we hope we'll get used to it.
By 1978, the public were no longer shaking in their boots. After extensive research at the Police Scientific Development Branch, the highway cops hit the mean streets of Gloucestershire with the latest in siren technology.